Well, hello, upper cervical specialists. I'm excited to be with you again. This is Dr. Bill Davis with UCM Practice Growth Systems. And today, we're going to start talking about the later stages of practice growth, and specifically practice growth stage 4. And what we call that is the associate master stage. And this is when you have at least 2 associates in your practice and you're growing to add more. You want to add more associates, a third associate, a fourth associate, a fifth associate, right? That associate master stage is really about mastering the fundamentals of training doctors and continuing to replace yourself within the practice so that you are not the one who the practice is relies on for patient care. If you're the only one who is doing patient care within the practice, then the practice is limited to your time and your time only. But if you can really master this practice growth stage 4 and become that associate master where you've got, 3 associates, 4 associates, 5 associates in the practice, it is an incredible machine you can build to really help a ton of people in your community. And so let's talk about some of the challenges, though, that you can run into when you're in this phase. So this is specifically for doctors who are in this associate master phase, have at least 2 associates in the practice. What are some of the things you're going to run into, and what are some of the challenges? Because your practice is, it feels like it's a well-oiled machine at this point. It's you and 2 associates at least. You've got some rock star leaders in place. Usually you've got people who, usually you'll have an office manager in the practice, or at least like a new patient coordinator, someone who's really focused on the new patient process. If you don't, that's a great place to start, is making sure you have a leader in that position, an office manager or a new patient coordinator type role, who can really make sure that all of that is running effectively. Because it's, if you want to add additional associates, you're going to continue to have to add more new patients into the practice in order to have the patient volume to have additional doctors in the practice. So this is when it's time to re-engage. I mean, this can be a time where, you can start getting complacent, start feeling like, man, I kind of really got it all dialed in. But you got to re-engage. You got to recommit to your mission. You got to inspire the team to continue to be excited about what you're doing and why it's important to continue to add more doctors to your practice if that's your goal. And that really also the systems have to be dialed in. So thinking about specifically your associate training systems, right? How are you going to take an associate from day 1 in the practice to 90 days to 6 months into the practice? What are all the steps you need to take? What is all the different aspects of it? And really break it down by week, right? What do they need to know about your technique, right? What do they need to know about patient communication? What do they need to know about just interacting with the team, right? What do they need to know about the culture of the practice? All these types of things, thinking these through and starting to lay out really, really specific systems for the developing of associates is key. And then also the recruiting of associates, right? Having systems in place for that. So you are constantly recruiting, constantly, that you have a hiring workflow, right? Where you're engaging with colleges, you're engaging with clubs, you have ways that you're engaging even within your state with other doctors who may be unhappy in their own practices, or just don't want to have their own practice and would rather come work with you, sometimes coming out of another technique into upper cervical. Those can be some great associates. So building those systems is really, really key for an associate master. You've got to have all of those associate related systems dialed in. The recruiting of associates and then the training and onboarding of associates has to be dialed in if you want to add a third associate, a fourth associate, and so forth. You also want to make sure that your branding and marketing is consistent, right? Because when you get multiple doctors within the practice, it can't just be about you. It can't be just your personality driving the practice. You have to have a consistent brand that is, that's reflected within all the doctors and all the team members. Everybody gets it. Everybody gets what you guys are all about. And you want to be able to, it's about training yourself at this point, challenging yourself to really continue to grow. And it's, before you move into practice growth stage 5, which is a scaling master, where you go from one location to 2, which not everybody even wants to do, right? You can add 3, 4, 5 associates into a single location and have a really great practice. It really comes down to space, right? A lot of times. And so you've got to be thinking about that too. Space limitations as you add additional doctors. Are you going to need to increase your space? Are you going to need to move? Are you going to need to, what are you going to do when it comes to that? So just thinking about all those types of things is really important in this stage as well. Some skills you really need to level up in the associate master stage is really thinking through that mission, vision, values, right? Going back to the basics, right? What is our mission? Why is it important? Does our whole team align with it? Our new doctors that we're recruiting, that we're hiring, are they aligned with our mission? Really making sure that your vision is clearly communicated, where you're going, why you want to hire more doctors, all those types of things. And then those core values, going back to it, what makes you a we, right? What is, we do this, we do that. Our doctors here, this is how we do it, right? You got to have that kind of language built into your practice, and so that you can inspire your team and keep them engaged. And then you need to develop as a leader, right? As a clinic director, the more doctors that you're going to have within your practice, the more that you have to really be dialed in when it comes to your leadership, right? How are you going to lead these doctors? How are you going to train them? How are you going to equip them for success? What are you going to do to hold them accountable, right? All those kinds of things, making sure that everybody is still focused on the mission, but that you're developing as a leader as well. So, leaders are readers. Are you constantly reading? Are you learning new things? Are you determined to find out more about how to manage people, and how to lead people, and how to engage with them in order to help them become the best versions of themselves? The branding too, right? Learning more about branding, engaging with a team like ours, of course, would be great for you. If you're not already a client, I mean, it makes no sense if you're not a client, but if you're not a client, engage with us. We can help you with branding. We can help you with marketing. We can help you with mission, vision, values. We can help you with leadership development. We help you with all this stuff. And so positioning your practice as an upper cervical specialty office is key, making sure all that is dialed in. And then the marketing is key. You got to have enough new patients coming in the door. So having multiple streams of new patients coming from referrals, from health practitioner referral network, from your digital marketing, from every aspect, from events, from all these different sources, so that people are flowing into the practice from all over the community, and you've got the doctors that are going to help them. So these are some of those skills you really want to focus in on that associate master stage is, mission, vision, values, leadership development, branding, and marketing. So how can we help you? A lot of doctors in this stage will come to us with a primary concern of new patients, right? They want to make sure they have enough new patients. They want to have enough leads coming in every month, because they have big goals. They have a big vision for their community, to reach their community in a powerful way. And so making sure you get enough new patients coming in the door is a big reason why doctors would engage with us. And this is where our Platinum Plan really shines in this, these later stages. Our Platinum Plan is designed for doctors who want to dominate, who want to bring tons of new patients into the practice. And, it starts with the starting point with that is, typically the number of leads we get with that is somewhere around 30 leads a month. And so you're going to be getting lots and lots of new patients coming in from our system. And the great thing about our system too, is we have a starting point for our pricing, and then you can add as much ad spend as you want, right? So if you're paying our basic Platinum Plan fee, You can add, as you know, if it's working for you, you can put more. Every time you add a doctor, you can add more ad spend in. Just keep putting more fuel into the fire and get more and more new patients coming in the door. And that's really what it's about when it comes to this associate master stage, is getting those new patients coming in consistently. And so that is what it's about. And if you want to talk more with us, just go over to the website, go to ucmpracticegrowthsystems.com, get an initial strategy session with us, really start to understand your practice, understand your goals, understand where you are right now. If you're in this associate master stage and you want to keep growing, you want to keep adding doctors, we would love to help you do that. And as we always say, go team upper cervical.